Welcome everybody to the Latiners Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Shazam Fury of the Gods. I was lucky enough to this evening to go to the red carpet event down here. Of course, I met Zachary Levi. He's really cool. Got a chance to talk to him. He signed some autographs, took pictures. So it's very welcoming. So I always appreciate that. You meet a lot of stars who are kind of a pain in the ass, let's be real. He doesn't seem to be one of them. So it's a really cool event. So again, gracious to be there tonight to see this. It's a movie which I was looking forward to. I'm a fan of the first Shazam, probably more than most people are. It was a good family film. I like the dynamic between them and the family members and then coming together, the other Shazam family, if you will. You know, Zachary Levi really owned that role. He was having a lot of fun with it. It was just like, it was a fun, entertaining, one of the better DC films. And I realized that's not saying a whole lot depending on who you ask it to how they feel about the DC movies, particularly a few years ago. But nonetheless, looking forward to this one. And this one here, taking things to another level as most sequels do. We have now, what's just the Shazam family, only thing standing in the way of being from the Earth being taken over by the daughters of Atlas, of course, played by Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu here. And this one, you've seen the trailers. They were kind of trapped in the realm, and now they found a way to get out and come over to the Elf realm, where now they're going to unleash hell and try to take over and do what they do for certain reasons I don't want to spoil. But that's kind of the basis of the film here. There's this definitely a much bigger film in terms of scope and what happens, and more fantastical in terms of we get all, particularly in the third act, those kinds of beasts and unicorns and of course dragons. And you put a dragon in anything, I'm probably gonna like it more so than that. But this one here, listen, I don't think it's quite as good as the first film. I really enjoyed this one. It's a good time in the theaters movie. It's charming, it's funny, much like the first one was. The action's taken to another level, but overall I don't think it's quite as good because it does have some issues here. But this film is in line with most of the films that have come out over the last couple of years, whether it be DC or Marvel. They've just been okay, entertaining films, and that's, at the end of the day, that's as best as we could ask for. Right? So often we get a great one, but although it's been a while since we got a great superhero film, but hopefully that's coming soon. Nonetheless, this is again entertaining and fun, particularly if you're a fan of the first film here. We have Zachary Levi again, having fun playing this character. Of course, Billy Batson, the kid form and all that, and he's Shazam. He's growing up and he's dealing with these powers. And this film focuses more on him, trying to keep the family, the rest of the Shazam family together. Right now, they all have powers now, and they're all trying to kind of work together. Someone do their own thing, and he's trying to keep everyone together. He's got abandonment issues because what happened to him with his family and all that when he's growing up. So that's a big part of the film, and they allude to it more than they actually give it to us. And what I mean by that, because in the first film, which I really liked about it, you have the fun aspect, right? A kid, who becomes a superhero, and he's learning how to be it. All of us could, imagine what it would be like to be a young kid, 15, 14, however he was old at the time, now endowed with powers. I mean, that's so cool, right? But also had a lot of substance because you had Billy Batson dealing with, not only is dealing with becoming Shazam, but, having to deal with his mom and, being abandoned, now being an orphan and meeting this new family and coming together. That was a big part of what I thought made the film really, really good. This movie kind of lacks that. This is more of a style over substance, and they allude to certain things about him and his abandonment, and he's turning 18, he's going to age out of the foster care and all that. They touch on that, but not enough, right? Because most of the film focuses on Shazam as opposed to Billy Batson. We do get more out of Freddy, the handicapped kid, is his friend or whatever, who's great in this film. I think he steals the film, to be honest with you, and a lot of it's more focused on him. He gets the most of the arc for the most part. But again, I think it needed that to really elevate this film beyond just good popcorn entertainment, which this film is, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Again, it's not a great movie, but it's a fun and entertaining one. And this is one, again, if you're a fan of this genre, you should probably enjoy it. I thought it was, much like the first Shazam, was better than something like Black Adam. But ultimately, again, it's one that kind of falls short from really being a great film, a memorable film. Right now, you watch it, you probably forget about it in a few weeks. But as you're watching it, you are having fun here. And it's interesting because, all the ending, the third act is overlong. It really is, and there's some cool moments in there, whether it be unicorns and monsters and all that, very cool dragons and all that. It drags on a bit, but there are cool moments in there. There's one thing with Helen Mirren's character, what's happening with her towards the end, which I found kind of annoying. But the movie does wrap up nice, particularly in the end, because it's funny, if you guys remember the first Shazam, when there was a quote unquote cameo of Superman, a headless Superman, right? They didn't want to show Henry Cavill, anyway. And this one does something similar early in the film, which for me was kind of annoying. And I was like, okay, enough with this. I really wish they would have gone full forward with this particular character. However, at the end, towards the end, they do show you a cameo of a particular character, which the crowd absolutely popped. I was not aware of this. I popped. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Great cameo. They use this character well, actually fit with the story and what was going on. I really like that. It was a huge surprise. I think people are going to be very surprised about seeing this one. And it does raise more questions whether we see this person in the future as far as the DCU. I don't know. That being said, there are two end credits. The first one's really cool because it introduces a couple of characters which we've seen before in this universe. That was cool. But that being said, again, listen, entertaining, funny. It's got some heart in there, cool action. The CG isn't consistent, but for the most part, it's fine. Again, it's fun. This is why we go to the movies, right? So I am recommending you guys go watch it in the theater, particularly if you're fans of DC, particularly if you're fans of the original Shazam. Some people I talked to thought it was better than the first. I don't agree with that. But nonetheless, I still found it fun and entertaining. I think you guys will too. So Shazam, you guys want to check it out? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.